I had been mostly quiet about sleepy Joe Budden until he on Axe podcast, and for the record, he laid down the parameters of what we were competing on because he started talking about my views. He didn't talk about money. He didn't talk about takes. He didn't talk about influence. He said No Jumper's views are way down. I acknowledged that our views, in fact, are doing great. A problem is that you have to combine the Clips channel with the main channel. Many people lack the coherent ability to do the science on this sort of thing. So you see like him say that, and then I pointed out that in reality, our network, our 2 channels has like 3 times as many views as his. So if we're talking about views, I feel like if anything, when you look at his Social Blade, it's looking pretty rough. It's been a long time. It's basically been since the Rory and Mal exodus, I believe, since they had any kind of spike in viewership on YouTube. So I don't know why he's trying to make our views the topic of conversation.
You left Joe out of the big 3. Did you really mean that? Because I feel like you love Joe as a content creator.
I feel like I was talking about views and I was talking about platforms. And I feel like when I look at Joe Budden's network, that he definitely failed at creating a network and has essentially given up on that, which, you know, myself, sometimes I think about giving up on that. You know, like I love the news. Sometimes though, like with the nighttime shows, it's like it takes a lot of production. It takes a lot of direction. And sometimes it's like the reward isn't 100% there. And you feel like if it really does get going good, that at some point that people are just going to kind of try to do their own thing or whatever. So there's like it's easy for me to understand why he fell back on the network thing. But as far as like people who've built really, really big platforms that are capable of like creating careers for people, I mean, I haven't seen him do anything to like create stars on his platform aside from the Rory and Mal exodus. And I think he did everything possible to try to like, you know, kind of keep them in their place. But when I think about who's like the kings of YouTube, for sure, I think about me, Vlad, and Ak. And so what Joe's doing is dope, but I don't really see it as being at the scale of what me or Vlad or Ak has built.
Okay. Yeah, no, you said something that I'm going to come back to later. So the scale. Well, I feel like Joe did try the thing, like what See the Thing is with, and they broke up without him, right?
He could keep his hands to himself.
Oh my God.
He was groping shit.
Are you talking about that
What's her name?
Olivia Dope?
Olivia Dope. She got felt up and then she got paid off. That shit crazy.
You never had to pay nobody off, Adam? Come on. You never, not even like sexual, just anybody. All right. I feel like that's just the cost. Well,
sue me.
Sue me? All right. You got to take it to court.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You got to go all the way.
You got to go all the way with me.
Okay.
You got to lawyer up.
All right. All right. Well, he did try to create a network. Obviously, there was hurdles that he had to jump over. There was the Olivia Dope situation.
How was that a hurdle? He set up that hurdle. He's the one who couldn't keep his hands to himself. You've been in the strip club all these years and you don't know that you're not allowed to grab all on the fucking female talent.
I remember watching that episode. It was stood up for like a little bit too. And then
I remember.
She came out, made a comment, and they took it down. You saw the episode? Like
I remember that clip going nuts when it first happened, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, I had my channel at the time. I was like, I should have probably saved this on my.
I need to fuck with Olivia Dope.
Oh my God.
She blacklisted by the fucking the Black Effect New York Cool Kid Club.
Everybody's under the Black Effect umbrella.
You're in that too? Yeah. There's a fucking banner right over here. Yeah. People at home can't see it.
Yeah. I pretend like I don't like Charlamagne, but secretly he owns me. So yeah, I'm sorry. Letting y'all know.
We just did the sign.
But yeah, I don't know if Olivia Dope is blackballed. I would assume she just got a nice settlement and laid low.
She would be welcome at No Jumper.
Oh my God. All right. Okay, well, back to the big 3 in media. You have academics, you had Vlad, and then but under what metrics is Joe in your top 3? Because you seem like if the metrics would have changed, he would be.
If we're talking about hot takes, like people who are able to consistently go viral off of having a outlier opinion about the culture or whatever, I think it's pretty obvious that him and Ak are the main people in the culture who kind of have that superpower. And I guess even you can maybe just throw Charlamagne in there because I don't really see that as being like me or Vlad's strong suit to necessarily like be the first person to come out with the crazy take that's going to go viral or whatever. So I'll definitely give him that, but I feel like that's different than the the big three conversation. Now, if you want to talk about like individual commentators who are like making the most noise, you got to give them some props in that regard. But like again, this all conversation started because Joe was critiquing my view count, and as I've explained many times, we get like 3 times as many views as the Joe Budden podcast. So I don't know. I just like my big three conversation was very much in retaliation to him making that comment. So that's where I got to keep it.
It's so yeah, it's kind of like I feel like both of you guys are so brilliant in terms of how you guys make content. I think to me, you're amazing. You're great as a interviewer. That's like I think you're the best interviewer in this landscape. And Joe's obviously the best performer, I think, of everybody. You're also really good at spotting talent. Like I've seen you take people with like no type of background and put them on, and they're able, obviously there's people that don't succeed, but there's a lot of people that have, and there's for some reason that you're able to do this over and over again with people like Brick Baby. I was gonna say someone that I was like, I don't know if I should add them to that, but T-Rail, AD, like you saw something in these people, you put them at a platform, and they were able to anchor some of your shows. And even if you think AD and T-Rail are doing bad now, they still have an audience that they were able to retain. But
it's diminishing, but yeah,
it's attrition. But yeah, so I think the way you run No Jumper is really interesting because you're always trying new things, even with think pieces. Like you started doing think pieces, and I'm like, wow, that was mind blowing. Like, yeah,
I've been thinking about that for a long time, just because I feel like the whole scripted genre or the like commentary genre is like kind of very, very big in podcasting in general. So like, yeah, let's bring somebody in. Let's try doing it ourselves. So I mean, that's definitely been an interesting thing to attempt. I don't know, like exactly. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly 100% what the audience thinks of it.
yeah.
And it's kind of weird to imagine. Like, I don't know. Do they thrive on negativity so much that the content needs to be like? Because you even know, like some of the first ones that we did, I told you like, we got to be a little bit more less biased, or like this is going to seem like state propaganda if it's kind of like agreeing with Kremlin. Me too much, that kind of shit. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely always down to try stuff. You know, like if you look at the origin of the channel, you would have probably never thought that we would be doing these like weekly shows. Never mind having people doing shows that I wasn't on and shit like that. So definitely gotta keep just trying shit from my perspective.
Well, that's how companies become huge, right? Twitter, wasn't it a podcasting company first, and then it starts in
Twitter?
Yeah,
really?
It was like Weibo or something.
I feel like they've always been micro blogging from day one. But
yeah, it was.
I had Twitter in 2008, I think.
Prior to that, like 2004 or something like that, they was
really
looking into podcasts, and they were like trying to emulate Blogger with audio. But they pivoted towards like a text thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
I remember I read the book on Twitter.